I've always raved about The Raid. It is one of the greatest because, as you know, sort of in a top 10, it's firmly at number 1 or number 2 of martial arts action movies. And Gareth Evans, of course, is the Welsh director who, along with Iko Uwais and all those other Indonesians, managed to make this gem for like what, $1 million all the way back, like almost what, like 15 years ago now. But yeah, Gareth Evans is one of those directors who I think Hollywood does not appreciate enough. And I say that because after The Raid, you'd imagine a director like that would be the person every agent, every studio in Hollywood would want to sort of like, chase down, sign to a contract, literally chain to a desk and say, you know what, you're it, man. You are going to be making movies for us for the rest of your life. I don't know why that didn't happen for someone like him, because he is hands down one of the best or the best action directors out there. I know I'm going to have people disagree with me and say if somebody like Chad, forgive me if I'm mispronouncing this, Stahelski, sort of John Wick fame. He's one of the best. And, sort of he has gone on to sort of make quite the career for himself. 4 John Wick movies, a bunch of other stuff. I mean, he's even, the action consultant on... Watanabe's of Cowboy Bebop fame, his latest thing, Lazarus, which has a fantastic, by the way, seen the first episode, check it out, really good action, of course, and a fantastic soundtrack, thanks to Kamasi Washington. Wow, Vortex, that should be playing right now. But yeah, I mean, those guys have been able to sort of capitalize on making, a small movie. John Wick was, at least part one, was a small movie. At the time, and honestly, I don't think anyone made too much. Didn't expect much of it. But it went on to sort of establish these guys as the sort of foremost action directors, or sort of team. But Gareth Evans, I mean, Raid 1, Raid 2. Then of course you had that Netflix movie again. Is it Prophecy or one of those? A really, really good movie. I really like that. There was that. And then, of course, he did Gangs of London. And now he has returned to action again with Tom Hardy, Forrest Whitaker, Timothy Olyphant in Netflix Havoc. Perhaps it's a decent movie. It's a decent Saturday night popcorn flick. There is no doubt about that. And, of course... there are hallmarks of Gareth Evans all over this movie. One, of course, and I'll start off with this, one hallmark, of course, is perhaps not his greatest. His strong suit is writing. If you remember, Raid 2 was a bit of it was slightly muddled. It was confused because I don't think the movie, I think he wanted to do a lot with it. And I think the movie would have benefited if perhaps it had been split into maybe a part 2 and a part 3. And like that movie, unfortunately, Havoc, the payoff, that sort of like, sort of hyper-violent, that hyper-violent reward after sitting in the doctor's office, that lollipop, we don't get until the very end. What I liked about The Raid was it was action from the get-go. I mean, there's not a moment in that movie there's not a quiet moment in that movie, which is why it's one of the greats. But in this, we don't get to see sort of like, we don't get, those buttons pushed until the very end. And of course, when they are pushed, they're amazing. Because unlike, The Raid, which is purely martial arts. There's a lot of gunplay. I think that sort of 90% of the action in this movie is gunplay. And perhaps tipping his hat or definitely borrowing from the Hong Kong style of John Woo, that sort of gunplay that you would have there. Slow-mo, of course, but then also this almost unrealistic, and he's admitted to that, but I don't care. I mean, stylistically, it's fantastic. The way the shootouts happen in this movie, they're fantastic. And, the other hallmarks I was talking about, one, of course, is the camera whip. I love how he just does that. Sorry for the sound effects, and I'll put the scene in. I mean, how he sort of, the camera's here and then it goes there. Love how he does that, number one. And then there's number two, is that bullet dance. It's funny how I'm saying that, but it's whenever a character is getting shot up and they're going, it's almost comical, but I just love how it happens. I mean, they're being riddled with bullets, and sort of like there they are, like fixed, like transfixed. They're rooted to the ground. Their bodies can't, their legs do not allow them to topple over, and the bullets just go. Oh man, more sound effects. Sorry, I'm being a little, it's like a child here, but yeah, I mean, sort of that's what action movies do to you. They bring this gigantic, big smile on my face. And last 20 minutes of this movie are just really, 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 really worth it. I mean, it's just good. It's so satisfying. And that's why I'm amazed how he hasn't had more sort of opportunities, why Hollywood hasn't come calling. Gareth Evans deserves his time in the sun simply because Hollywood can't even make proper action movies. They can't shoot action. I mean, I've been saying this for the better part of 2 decades now. Christopher Nolan, is of course a very, very decent. I don't need to say this. No superlatives. We all know who he is, what he's achieved in life. But he can't shoot action for shit. Do you remember his fight scenes in Batman Begins? Oh my, they're so bad. I mean, here you have Batman surrounded by sort of these, what's it called? But remember in that scene where I think, sort of this is towards the end, he sort of, what is it called? Middletown or down, sort of that shit part of Gotham. He's there. He sort of jumps in and he's surrounded by all of these Ra's al Ghul henchmen. And instead of seeing this like nice wide shot where you actually see, we actually see the fights and each move and stuff like that. I'm doing them with my hands. You guys are getting sort of a bit of a variety show today. It's just mid shot, and you can barely see what Batman is doing. I mean, you just hear these, sort of sound effects and stuff like that, and somebody gets tossed here and somebody gets tossed there. He can't shoot action for shit. Gareth Evans can. Give this guy more stuff, man. I mean, sort of, if this is an appeal to the powers that be in Hollywood, give this guy more stuff. Or to hell with Hollywood, man. Somebody give this guy more money. I want to see Gareth Evans do a lot more. I mean, he needs to be given either a pretty honest franchise movie, something where he can really, show Hollywood how it's done, or somebody just give him money to make Raid 3. That is a movie we need.